early adopters of this S26 Ultra. Let me put this graphic up here for everybody. This is what we're going to dive into today, right? So we are going to take a look at everything from water in the lens to some people saying it's overheating, some Android Auto issues, some connectivity issues, all that good stuff. This is a piece of information that was kind of head scratching. This is what I found online. I don't know. I don't think it's this high, but this is what I say numerous, maybe 2 or 3 online publications were saying when it comes to issues with this phone. That initial data suggests that 70% of users are enjoying the phone and really don't have any problems, while the remaining 30% are currently navigating a landscape of technical issues. So let's jump into the very first topic, probably the biggest issue that many people have with this device. A significant number of users that do have issues with this display are reporting a fuzzy text, a fuzzy looking display, or yesterday, like one of the viewers said, a milky display. I think it kind of follows in the fuzzy text, right? To reclaim the sharpness that you paid for. So here's what we recommend to adjust on your display settings. So recommended display optimization, disable privacy display. If you have it on, just turn it off, right? And to do that, you can go to Settings app, go to Display, and activate, and turn off maximum privacy protection and the regular privacy protection. Now, to configure the eye comfort shield, if it is straining your eyes, giving you headaches, here's another setting you can potentially do. So if you go to the Settings app, go to the Display section and activate the eye comfort shield setting to mitigate the blue light induced fatigue on your eyeballs. And here is another tip you can try. You're going to want to toggle extra dim mode. Now, that might not be useful if you're outside, but if you're inside, it certainly can help. So for those of you with high light sensitivity, you navigate to Settings, Accessibility, and then Vision Enhancements to enable the extra dim mode. Now let's address the 25 watt fast wireless charging. So on paper, the S26 Ultra supports 25 watt fast wireless charging. In practice, many users, including myself, are lucky to see speeds between 5 and 10 watts. I think I did a video about this, testing the wireless charging. So this discrepancy has led to frustration among many of those that invested in high-end charging hardware, only to find their fast wireless charging regulated at substandard speeds, may I add. The reality is a hardware handshake. So the handshake is a handshake between your device and the charger. It's a requirement that isn't immediately obvious at first. And to achieve the advertised 25 watt wireless charging speeds, you're probably going to need to purchase Samsung's own $60 wireless charging accessory. The pad itself must be powered by a 45 watt wall brick or higher, a component Samsung does not include in the box. So Samsung's own $60 wireless charger will get you 25 watts under very specific conditions. And again, these are not included in the box, so it appears even the aftermarket accessories might not get you to the claimed 25 watt fast wireless charging. It looks like you're going to have to purchase either a 45 watt Samsung charger or a 60 watt Samsung charger brick and their brand name wireless charger. I know D-Brand put out a social media post. When was this? Maybe about a week ago, claiming that this is all jacked up. When I saw that post, I was like, maybe we need to test this, and boy, is it jacked up. Now, I don't think this is fixable on Samsung's end. Like, I don't think they can just push an update out and magically make it charge faster. It appears the aftermarket wireless chargers don't fast wireless charge this phone. So if you're a user of or you like to use fast wireless charging, it appears you're going to have to spend some extra money and get the Samsung branded stuff, which sucks, right? And again, I don't think it's fixable with an update. So let's move on, shall we? Fog in the camera sensors, moisture in the cameras, water in the camera lenses. Yes, it's a real thing. I've been called a liar. I've been called fake news. Well, I have the proof, and I've already put the proof out. I've made numerous videos. I don't want to bore you again, beat you over the head with this over and over and over. It's a real thing. Now, again, this is not really fixable. And if you have water in your camera sensors, it looks like moisture, it looks like fog, and it's typically on the bottom sensor. So from all the proof, all the photos I've seen, it's always on this bottom sensor right here. I've seen one in the middle sensor, but usually it's this one right here. You're going to want to return the phone. And I think if you're out of your 2-week return window, let's say, because I think right now I'm out of my return window this weekend. So let's say, I don't know, in 6 weeks from now, I see moisture in my camera lens. I still think that would fall within the 1-year manufacturer's warranty for this. And if you get with Samsung reps on their Samsung website, you can strike up a chat with them. I believe, don't take my word for it, but they should replace your phone with a new one. And they'll know, because the first thing somebody will think is, well, did it fall into the bottom of a deep pool, right? Like how do they know this thing has never been in water, yet you have water in your sensor? Well, when you send it into Samsung, they're going to open this up and see if the water sensor is triggered in here. They have like a little strip of paper that turns pink. Everybody's seen those, right? They've been in electronics for years. They'll open up your phone, see if that little strip of paper is pink. If it's not pink, if it's remained white, which means no moisture, then they'll, I'm sure, replace your phone. Again, don't take my word for it, but it should fall within the manufacturer's warranty. In fact, I would almost guarantee that. But if you do at any point see moisture in your camera sensors, you're going to have to contact Samsung, because there's obviously nothing they can do about that. It appears that the seal around this sensor right here, did everybody watch and or see Jerry Rig Everything, Zach's video, where he just simply took a knife and just popped off these sensors? It appears the sealant, whatever they used, glue, whatever, is not on some devices. It's not all devices. On a few devices, it looks like they didn't necessarily put the right amount of sealant on there, or it just didn't properly sit on there. Whatever the issue is, some people have seen moisture in their sensors. So again, if that's you, which I hope it's not, just contact Samsung and I think they'll square you away. I think they'll get you squared away. Now, let's move into, yes, Android Auto. Android Auto, there again, another handshake problem with Android Auto and the device. It's how your device communicates with the Android Auto interface, right? Because some vehicles come with Android Auto. Many users are reporting persistent connection failures with their S26 Ultra and their automobile when Android Auto is turned on. So before diving into software fixes, perform a basic hardware audit. Ensure your USB cable isn't torn, frayed, or otherwise damaged. If the hardware is sound, if there's no issues with the cable, you can even try another cable, a second cable. The most effective workaround is a wired first approach to establish the initial handshake, because you have wireless Android Auto and wired Android Auto. Typically, wired Android Auto, meaning physically plugging your phone in to the USB port in your car, and then it'll activate Android Auto. Or some of the newer models have both wireless and wired. Now, I know it's easier to go wireless, but that may be the problem. If you're automatically trying to jump into wireless Android Auto, some people online I saw said that the smart switch is from going wired to wireless. So start out wired if you have wireless, if that's an option. Start out wired, meaning get Android Auto up and running in your vehicle, and while it's in its operating system, disconnect the wire. Now, make sure wireless is enabled before you do any of this, to where it'll jump back on wireless. But jumping on just on wireless at the very beginning is apparently looks like it might be the problem. So establish a successful physical connection with a high quality USB cable first. Don't use some crappy USB cable that you've had for 8 years. No, either use the USB cable that came in the box, or jump on Amazon and get you an Anchor cable, right? And you might need a USB type A to USB type C. So that's why it might not work. I haven't really seen a lot of USB type C outlets in vehicles. I don't know why. That's taken a while to catch on. So you probably have to get a decent USB type A to USB type C. Make sure your cable is good to go. If wireless still fails, navigate to settings, apps, Android Auto, then storage. Select clear cache and then clear storage, and then close out the app, and then restart the whole process. Plugged in first, and then when it's plugged in, remove the plug, and you should be good on wireless. So apparently that's a problem. Or you can try a third-party Android Auto adapter. That's another option, right? Now, this very last one, Snapdragon Thermal Management, this can be adjusted and or fixed with a software update. So out of basically 12 to 14 days I've had this S26 Ultra, out of these last 12 to 14 days, there's only one event, one time where my phone got hot, and that's it. Other than that, it's cool as the other side of your pillow. It's nice and cool. So I don't know, maybe it was, and what I did was I went to the GSAM battery management app, and what app was it that was running in the background? I can't remember. It was an app that I don't really use, and I just uninstalled it. I restarted my phone, and it has not been hot since. I want to show you the system administrator's toolkit, how to go into the recovery and wipe cache. Be careful if you wipe data. So here is a toolkit, a how-to guide to get into the recovery menu, right? Like the behind the scenes stuff. Well, I guess most of y'all probably have not flashed ROMs or custom firmware, but I used to know this like the back of my hand. So at the factory, like when they physically put these phones together, they have to have a back end to load the software on these phones. This is sort of like, for those of y'all that know somewhat about computers, it's kind of like the BIOS, right? It's kind of like the BIOS of a computer. It's kind of like the back end. It's like the base operating system. Now, there's no graphics. It's just looks like old Microsoft DOS print text. But that's how they load operating systems onto these phones. That's how you can wipe the cache. That's how you can do a factory data reset. Now, it's not touchscreen. You have to use your buttons. But here is a quick breakdown of just how you do this. Because to boot your phone in this sort of BIOS mode, you have to, it's weird. press and hold the power button and volume up button at the same time. Some in like on OnePlus phones or another phone, you'd have to release one at a certain time to get into it. But specifically for the S26 Ultra, this is how you do it. I got a how to boot it into safe mode. And typically you're not going to need to use safe mode. I'm not going to get into it, but you're probably never going to use that. How to factory reset it, right? And then how to wipe your cache partition. Now, I'm going to caution you, you can obviously explore all you want, but be careful. Don't just be pushing, yeah, do this, yes, and it'll ask you, are we confirming you want to do this? But be careful, because you can push a couple of buttons and before you know it, your phone's wiped and you're back to square one. And you're like, whoa, what happened? So be careful. Again, you can wipe your cache partition and that kind of, wipes your cache, but be cautious of wiping data. That will do a factory data reset on your phone. You're going to reboot it and it's going to be like it's brand new. You're like, what did I do? So use with caution. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments and ask, because I have tons of experience with this. But you can factory reset it if you want to, certainly. And then wipe your cache. So that's always handy. All right. Hey, what's up, man? Hope you're doing okay today. So let's move on. I think that was it for the issues. No, let's see. Yeah, that's it for the issues. So if you have any problems with your S26 Ultra and you need some advice, or you need to be, maybe point you in the right direction with what you should do, hit me up in the comments. Again, I check them every day. And again, all this information we're looking at right now is down below in the description box. Check. I made my notebook LM accessible to everybody, so be my guest. I've got some cool stuff on there.